to go to work. See, there are many. Now, imagine if there was one day that public transportation was suspended. We were forced to have to find another way to go to work. It was a nightmare, right?
Yes.
Well, not exactly. In February 2014, there was a strike in London that made the London Underground shut down for 2 days. And for those 2 days, people who were used to commuting in London through Underground, they were forced to find different ways to go to work. And there are 3 economists that used this as an event study, and they found a very interesting thing. There are 5% of the commuters in London Underground that they found, wow, actually, the new way is better. It was only when the strike came in that forced them to find different ways to go to work that they found better ways to go to work. And here's another example. Back in May, when the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic has made the school shut down, back at the time, I was a teacher's assistant in school, and I got a phone call from a teacher. And that teacher, he is in his late 60s, so you can probably imagine he's like, Lester! But believe me, Lester is way better than my teacher.
Sure.
And my teacher called me with his voice tremble, was a mixture of anxiety, anger, and all kinds of negative emotions. He's like, Alice, what am I going to do? I know nothing about online lecture. And later, I realized he could barely turn on the computer. Oh boy. And that day, I spent almost a whole day teaching my teacher how to use Google Meet to share his PowerPoint to give an online lecture. And the next day, after the online lecture, I got the phone call from the same teacher. Hi Alice, well, it's finally finished and I just want to thank you for the help of the online lecture. And what he said next made my jaw drop. He said, Alice, I wonder if it is possible for me to give another online lecture. Because now the city was locked down and we got nowhere to go. And I would like to give another online lecture for my students. I was like, really? But you told me you know nothing about online lecture. And he said, yeah, but that was before. Now I just found out online lecture is so convenient. And since we got nowhere to go, I want to give another online lecture, extra. And this is my students' privilege to have that extra lecture. But you have to know that this teacher is that kind of teacher which students hate that because he will talk non-stop for 3 hours, and most importantly, he loves to pick students up for random questions. shutdown that he learned how to give an online lecture. Perhaps when things don't go in our ways, maybe we don't need to be that too frustrated. Maybe there is an opportunity that lies behind. And maybe all we need is just an open mind to accept and detective eyes to discover and a flexible mind to think from a different perspective. And most importantly, be patient because it takes time. It takes time to accept, it takes time to adopt, it takes time to see the world from a different perspective. But, you got to believe that we will survive and strive.